Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new video series, and that is using Excel as a database. So this is continuation of VBA Basics, VBA Beyond Basics and VBA Advanced. So if you have not yet gone through those videos, I strongly suggest that you go and watch those videos, develop an understanding of VBA programming, and then continue with this series of the videos. So let's get started. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. First of all, let's talk about what is our database. So general properties of database. Let me get away. No, this view is better. Yeah. So what are general properties of a database? Data is stored in the backend table. The user doesn't have access to those tables. So let's talk about Oracle Financials, either SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, or any other database. It can be your CRM, it can be Salesforce, it can be any other application. That application has a database at its backend. The user cannot access those tables, and user can have a display in front of him. There are some fields where he can enter data. There are certain reports which he can generate, but the user doesn't have access to the backend table. So this is the first property of a database. Then user interface. There is a user interface for data entry. User cannot go and enter data into the table. There will be a pop-up window, and user will type the data in that window, and that window will have a button of OK or posting something, and once that is clicked, the software, the application itself access the backend table and post the data. Then there would be predefined reports. If you talk about accounting reports, it can be a trial balance, it can be a balance sheet, it can be an income statement, it can be a cash flow statement. And if we talk about the customer or sales database, it can be a monthly, daily sales report, it can be sales return report, it can be how many times a customer has accessed the customer services and stuff like that. So they are predefined reports, and you can have those reports. And then there is a customized report writer. Generally, we have this a report writer which is inbuilt in most of the big databases like Oracle Financial, SAP, or other databases. But we can have that in Excel, but that will complicate things. So we will not touch this topic in Excel, but we are right now discussing the general properties of a database. And a database has the option of exporting the raw data. You can export the backend table into CSV or Excel format, and then you will do your customized analysis yourself. And the main thing is user cannot access data tables directly. Okay, so these are the properties of a database. Let's go to next slide. And then what we can have is we can have an audit trail. Audit trail can be developed when we have the user logs. Which user have posted the entry, who has tried to access any report and stuff like that. So that is another characteristic. This is another feature of a database, that it has user logs and it has audit trail. And then we can a database have a user access level. The person who is posting a new entry cannot edit it. There may be a supervisor who will allow the entry to get posted, or the person entering a data do not have access to the reports. Certain reports, for example, he cannot access the income statement. That is privilege of someone else. The supervisor may have that privilege. And then database doesn't have the spreadsheet look, it has an application look. And then we can have multiple users accessing that database. Someone is generating reports, someone is entering data, someone is doing some audit stuff, analyzing the audit trail and stuff like that. So these are the properties. I think the next slide. Okay, so these are the general properties of a database. We will try to develop a database in Excel which has maximum of these properties. Excel cannot replace your database, but someone who has a limited experience of databases, or someone already has a deep knowledge of Excel, this program is going to help you further. So let's go to next slide. Talking about reports, your database reports could be live, like you just click and you get the report. It can be an instant report. The instant report would not be live or based on live data, but it will pick some data, do some analysis, run some equations, and then will then give you the report. A live report would be like you will have a balance, say bank balance, every time appearing on your screen. So, and then you can have your reports that could be in the short form, like it's a worksheet, it can be a CSV, it can be a PDF. CSV stands for comma separated values. Even if you have a application from 90s, that will give you a report in CSV. CSV can directly be opened in Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft Excel worksheet can be saved into a CSV format. CSV format only has text. It will not have any format and something else. So furthermore, in our database, there are two important factors. I think let's restrict this video to characteristics or feature of a database, and this is the last slide. In a database, there is a primary key or there is a secondary key. The concept of key is the identification. These keys are used to identify any item in a database. For example, every inventory item has a unique number. That's the primary key for that inventory. Every employee has a unique number. That is identification for that employee. And if we talk about accounting, every transaction, every account code has a unique identification key. That is the primary key of that account. So primary key or the secondary key are the identification numbers. That can be a serial number, or that can be an alphanumeric code, and that can be anything. Generally, what I use is a serial number key, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as an identification key. So these are the basic concepts of a database. With these concepts, in the next videos, I am going to develop a database in Excel, and we will develop in certain phases, and that I will discuss in next.